All right, so we're back. I'm not really back, but you're back because I split the video. No, I'm sorry. Um, okay, all right. Let's review. I'm sorry, excuse me. Mercury and Emerald just wiped the floor with Coco and Jatsuhiro, I think his name was, and it's really interesting. A weird thing is that when Jatsuhiro was eliminated, there was he was there. There was an image of him. I think it was an image of him calling out to Coco, and then she noticed that he got eliminated, and hmm, that was really interesting. Also, another in. Oh man, I gotta. Let me organize my thoughts because I got so much going on right now. But let's start from the beginning. So the fight is going on. A fight, by the way, which was preset by Cinder because apparently now she has access to the fighter roster, and she deliberately set up the stage for um, her team and Team Coffee to fight together to make it interesting. Um, why? Why? Well, they say from what I'm remembering, they say that Team Coffee was really strong and like they could take care of themselves, and yet they've been defeated. Fairly, I won't say easy, but fairly. I don't want to say effortless because they did have like fighting and stuff, but they've been defeated fairly simply. Um, Mercury was able to block a sword with his feet, and the shockwave that it produced when it blocked was intense. Um, and also he apparently shoots these white projectiles from his feet as well. Um, so I'm guessing he's very similar in concept. He's very similar to Yang in the fact that he might have some like feet gauntlets where he shoots with his feet when he kicks because he's very well efficient. He's very efficient with his leg work and the kicking because he completely dominated Coco with the kicking and then pushed her out of the way. And then when she stood up again, she got taken into the forest. But so these are things that I'm picking up. So Mercury has some sort of weapons in his feet, and I'm guessing that's what helped him block the sword attack. Um, I don't know why, but I'm thinking about him smelling the boot. I don't know why. But that image is coming back to me now that he's sniffing the boot. Hmm. So interesting stuff. Hmm. All right. So so Coco got defeated. Yatsuhiro got defeated. Team Coffee is no longer in the tournament. Um, and then we move on to some Crow backstory where it was just a joke. The length of the shopkeeper, the innkeeper. Sorry. um, but one thing that was really odd was when he's showing the picture, he kind of like covers the the face of what we're guessing is Yang's mom, and it makes Yang just like stare. Hmm. She is. She did say she never stopped looking for her mom, so maybe she. I know since she's been detoured from that search for a while because of everything that's happening. Maybe she feels like oh yeah, this. You know, I'm thinking what he mentioned was very true. That as soon as Roman got captured, all the activity stopped, and it's like I don't know. It goes to show what he said about the 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 snake reference that King Tajitu, I think it was called. When you cut off one head, the other one takes control. And this is very true for a lot of things. When one of the leaders can no longer lead, either the person above or the person below takes charge and continues the agenda, because we all know that he wasn't acting alone, but yet there's no activity. So that's something to keep in consideration, that what he's saying is true. And I'm trying to put a a a hierarchy of power or organization for the enemy side, because we have Cinder and Roman. Now clearly Cinder is in charge of Roman. Roman is captured, so Cinder is the one in Beacon, and she's not a pawn. She's a big player, but yet there's still that mysterious she that's out there. So that would be maybe another big player, or maybe like the end boss, or the one in charge orchestrating everything. Because if Cinder is like a very high ranking person in the enemy hierarchy, then the mysterious she is either the one in charge or an even higher ranking official. But I'm not exactly quite sure just yet. Um, Hmm. Not sure. Not sure. Just yet. We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. I'm certain of it. Um, for some reason, I'm thinking back to the fight between Crow and Winter. There was a very large focus on a black bird, what I think was a crow, or what other black birds do we have? Crows. That's the only thing I can think of. Um, there was a crow where Crow was fighting after he left the crow bar. I'm getting a lot of crows here, but there was a lot of emphasis on it, and it also seemed as if there was like a flash of red eyes as it flew away. So I'm not exactly sure what was up with that, but I'm calling it out now. Because why would they focus on a bird in the middle of a fight and just goes and flies away? It's like everything in RWBY, we all know by now that it has a purpose. And if we cannot take things that show, for example, I'll talk about this in a little bit, the little sword. We cannot take things that get shown lightly. We can't just be like, well, it's irrelevant. No, it's not. Everything here has a purpose. Now that bird, that bird has a secret, and I'm gonna try to unlock it. And for some reason, it seems familiar to the point that it's not the first time that we see a bird. I mean, excluding the fact when Ruby gets launched in the training exercise before they decide to teams, when she crashes into a bird and she's like, "Birdie, no!" Besides that, not necessarily that, but like a single black bird where I know I just know I've seen it before, but I need to remember where. And I don't want to give you guys like this empty spaces of me trying to think about it, but I'll think I have it. I have it there, and it's bugging me because why would they focus on the bird with red eyes? Oh, it's there. I'm gonna put it there for now. Red eyes, red eyes, red eyes, red eyes. Bird, 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 bird. Red eye bird, red eye bird, red eye crow. I'm not making a connection. All right, so let's leave that there for now. Let's continue the story. I'm happy to say I was right. It's you can notice because if there is some sort of affection between two people, no matter how mean the person is, there's still the affection is because the affection happens usually in private. And I'm happy to see that develop with Weiss and Winter when they're having their little um, tea with croissants and strawberries. Um, they have a nice little bonding moment where they're talking to each other. How are things going? Tell me about what's happening, and let me catch up. And it was nice. The sisters are catching up, and the affection is there. But she's still very stern and strict with her because she knows she can. She knows that Weiss can deliver more than what she thinks she's reaching. Um, Apparently, all the Shnees can summon. Now, this is new for me because I don't think I've seen anybody else summon anything at this point. So that is a very unique thing, which makes me wonder because I was under the impression up until now that her semblance were just glyphs. That she's able to manipulate, um, like she said, gravity, time, and I can't think of anything else. But she's able to summon. This makes me think about the the fight with Ruby and the other team when Weiss captures the two guys. It was like a hand just came up and grabbed them, and then it broke and started rolling a rolling fist before the girl broke it, and then Weiss, Yang, and Blake and Ruby and everybody defeated them with that smashing attack. But it was a hand. She pulled up a hand and grabbed something. And then they're playing the mirror, a version of Mirror Mirror, because it sounded just like a tell me something, Mirror Mirror. I think I'll change it all. So that must be like a continuation of the song Mirror Mirror from Weiss's theme. Wait, wait. And then there's a sword, a tiny little sword, and the little caterpillar, and it goes away. But then Winter was telling Weiss, think of all the foes you've defeated that have pushed you to the edge, and then something about make them come to you. So, so I don't know. But if this is what I'm thinking that she's saying, is that the Shnees have the ability to summon defeated enemies. And I'm guessing that's why Winter summoned a snowy Grim, because they're all about snow and ice. So when they summon their foes or former foes, they summon a snowy replica of the enemy that they fought, that they defeated. And because that particular enemy pushed them to their limits, it drove them to go beyond their limits and become better. And that somehow creates this bond or force connection between the Schnee and the defeated foe. So they summon snowy versions of things they have defeated. So why did Wise summon a tiny sword? Why did Wise start summoning a snowy hand? Because so far, that means that I, I'm not sure if they have multiple summons, like all the enemies that they've ever defeated that have pushed them to their limits. Because that's what Winter was saying. Think about all the foes you've defeated that have pushed you to your limit, to go beyond your limit. And man, so do they have like an arsenal of defeated enemies that they can bring up? I'm not sure. But so far, it seems as if she's having a hard time producing a summon, but yet she was able to produce a hand to grab and a tiny sword. Now, the hand was pretty big, but the sword was tiny. So, if the sword was tiny, it probably means that the energy was. Yeah, because the glyph on the floor started shrinking before she lost concentration. So, the sword should fit the hand. Oh my god! Oh! It's a giant hand with a giant sword. And you know what Weiss's summon is? It's that thing that she fought in the trailer that it made no connection to it up until now. She fought this giant armor being with a massive sword. Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the sword is the sword that we saw, but she did defeat this giant armor thing, and she did. Oh man, oh man, oh man. It's the foes that she defeated, and she defeated that foe. And that's where she got her scar when she defeated that foe. And it was a battle that pushed her to the limits. But why? Oh man. Wise has a giant in her disposal, at her disposal in her arsenal. She has a giant. And I'm guessing because it's so big and so massive, she might be having such a hard time summoning it. But man, I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain this is it because it was a hand, all right, and a little tiny sword because the glyph, the summoning glyph, just like and shrank, and then it was a little tiny sword, and the caliper goes like boop, 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 and it breaks apart. But the sword was meant to be bigger to fit the hand, and the hand is big. So whatever is still pending, it's big. It's oh man. Wise has just stepped into the realm of about to become OP. Now she was pretty strong to begin with, but what? What? I don't know how to handle this. She has this massive thing that's coming. I just know it. I just know it. The sword. I don't remember if the sword looks exactly the same as the giant sword that she was fighting against the armor thing. And I don't know if she has more than just one thing because I'm not exactly sure how the Schnee heritage thing works. Choose your summon. Oh, I want that Grim, or oh, I want the armor, or oh, I want the King Tajiku, or whatever it's called, or oh, I want this, and then that becomes your summon. Or if whatever foe you encounter, you can record that and put it in your arsenal. Oh man, imagine if she gets the bird, but she didn't defeat the bird. It was Ruby that decapitated it. Could you imagine a big snowbird tearing things up with the snowy razor feathers? I think that'll be so cool. But I don't know. But so far, it seems that it is the giant. It seems like it's the giant. It really does. I'm almost certain of it. So cool. Um, then they go their separate ways, and that's where it ended. I think is that where it ended. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And then I didn't look at the credits. I'm so bad because I get so drawn into the art piece in the background that I just don't read the names. Sorry, but um, but yeah, things that are important that I still don't know. The mysterious she that's outside. For some reason, the black bird with the red eyes. Who has red eyes? Um, somebody called Autumn. That's in a condition of sorts. Why does Cinder want to manipulate the matches? What is the lie? And thinking about the intro song, um, all these bad things are going to happen when it falls. What's the lie? What's the mirror? And what is going to fall? Oh man, I'm thinking extra back to the song. Um, Mirrored Eyes. I'm thinking now about Ruby. So we have a lot of things that are still not quite resolved at this point, or at least for me, I can't quite make the connections just yet. But they're there. We just have to keep looking. We have to keep watching. And I'm going to watch the next one. So I'll leave it here for now. Um, Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate all your support, all your comments, and everything that you do. To all my Patreon supporters, you guys, again, as always, are amazing. And even though it's not required, it means so much to me. So thank you. I greatly and truly appreciate it. So, with that being said, Once again, thank you everybody so much for watching, for your support, and for everything that you do. And I will see you until next time. See you in the next video. Until next time. How should I end it? I'm not sure. The music should be playing by now, but until the next time. Take care. Bye bye.
ふわふわふわふわふわふわりくるくるくるくるくるくる回るのふわふわふよふよふわふわりうるるくるくるふわふわ飛び出したの